Hello everyone, this is Nisito from Nisito's Art. Back again. I know it's been a while. Don't mind the camera shake. I'm doing this segment spontaneous. Basically, just off the cuff. Um, as you can see, I haven't been posted lately because I've been busy, and I have also been updating and sculpting my Chuck Norris versus Bruce Lee or Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris sculptures. It was supposed to be just a regular sculpture of the Bruce Lee. But funny thing is that when I was watching references of how to sculpt Bruce Lee's body and facial features, one of the references I had was him fighting Chuck Norris in Into the Dragon. And then right then and there, I just decided, hey, well, if I do Bruce Lee, might as well do Chuck Norris. And while I'm at it, I might as well continue. Kind of like George Forrest Gump effect. You know the scene in the movie where he's running, and he runs to the end of the street, and he goes, "While I'm here, might as well go to the end of town," and so forth. So that's what I did. Like I started with Bruce Lee, then decided when I do Bruce Lee, might as well do Chuck Norris. I do Chuck Norris now. I'm currently working on the background, and I guess I'm getting into doing dioramas also. Um, okay, so too much. Sorry about the rambling. I'll stop with the rambling, but I'm gonna start with explaining how Bruce Lee came about. Now, keep in mind, I know he doesn't look exactly like him or even like him that much, but it's my intent of sculpting, and I'm trying to get better and better. As you can see, his face, tattered face, his hair. Um, Now, funny thing, in case you're wondering why he's sticking his neck out, when, of course, Bruce Lee or anybody's in the fight will tuck his neck down. The reason being is because originally I was sculpting him in a matter that I guess he was walking in Enter the Dragon, and I believe it's that scene where he's walking, looking for the main character towards the end of the movie, and I think it was like a picture where was slightly had his neck sticking up, not down. So that's how I stay like that. Because when I decided to do the Way of the Dragon, where he's going against Chuck Norris, I mean it was too late. Polymer clay already cooked it, and there's no way I could have changed the neck. I would if I could, if possible. If I might take that risk, maybe cutting it off and resculpting it. But since I'm very inexperienced, I don't want to take that risk right now. Um, yeah, the arms too, the hands. You can tell. Usually, Bruce Lee will hold his hands out like this or like this. I don't know if you can see that while he's fighting. He's like very relaxed hands. He doesn't hold, for the most part, he doesn't hold like a clenched fist. The clenched fist, to be honest, I put it like that because I'm sculpting. I'm not very good with with hands. I'm actually very terrible with that. And you can tell the hands look kind of buffy like boxing gloves. But maybe in the future, if I'm able to saw them off and make modifications, change them, I will. I'm still learning process. Now, unfortunately, polymer clay and how big he is, I think he's about, I think 10, 12 inches tall. He's a little bit too big to put in the oven or conventional oven, so I have to use a toaster oven. Unfortunately, his size is way too big, so I came up with this. I guess. I mean, you can't call it a genius idea, but I just did it out of necessity, where I sculpted. As you can tell, I don't want to mess it up. I sculpted the top half first, See if I can. Well, I don't want to pull it up because it's not stuck down. But anyway, I sculpted the top hat first. I have like a middle, not a middle, a wooden screw down the middle, and then I sculpted the bottom half separate. And the way I sculpted, I usually start with the head first, using aluminum foil wrapped with some tape. Let me see if I can find it. Some masking tape. I just bought some right here recently. I do that so the aluminum foil won't break off and get into the clay pieces in case I have to take it apart and re-sculpt it again, the face. Yeah, and I put it on the wooden screwer. I work on the face first, and then what I do is I get a bulk of additional aluminum foil, bulk up the body, and again put masking tape on there over it so the foil won't get into the clay as I'm sculpting. And for give me a moment, should have came prepared. Okay, here we go. Now for here we go. I'm gonna probably hit that out. Sorry. Now for this, I used this type of clay. Just a little piece because I actually ran out. It's called so this is all I have available. It's called Super Sculpey Firm. This is the best polymer clay, at least in my opinion, to use for small details like nose, the mouth, eye area, because it holds its shape. It's very hard to smush, so you can work with it. It's very pliable, so you can see that right there. That's what I used for making Bruce Lee. Okay, so I don't have, like I mentioned, I don't have the any more polymer clay Super Sculpey available firm, but I did save the box, and it comes in a box like this, Super Sculpey. That's what it looks like, because you're wondering. You can find this in Michael's and Hobby Lobby for the most part, and yeah, I mean, give my first attempt on doing likeness and realistic. At least for me, I'm satisfied. I know it can be better, but hey, it's a learning process for me, and I do this because I like it. It's a hobby for me. It helps me relax, and it helps me out with my anxiety. So that's Bruce Lee, and the base is just basically I made the base out of well, just I bought the base at Hobby Lobby, and I covered the top part with air dry clay. I use air dry clay mostly for the bases. Everything else is polymer clay or plastilina clay, which we'll be talking about now in a moment. All right, so moving up. Let's go up to Mr. Chuck Norris. Keep in mind, both Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee, based paint-wise, they're still a work in progress. So some, some highlights I need to add, or some, clean up some of the paint job I did. But here it is. To my best of my ability, I try to get his likeness the best I can. When I get better equipment, I will. When I get better recording equipment, I will try to record my next sculpting session. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully you'll like it. I don't know if I'll do commentary over it, or just play it a time-lapse video. But yeah, now you would assume I used polymer clay for sculpting Chuck Norris. Feel how hard it is. Actually, you'll be wrong. Chuck Norris is actually done with Platina clay, which is this right here. Let's see if I can focus. This is an open package. Actually, I was wrong. It's an open package. I still have plenty in there. Let me show it to you. Take that little piece out. Here it is. Take a little piece out right here. See, as you can see, it's very malleable. It's soft, but not too soft where it's smushy. It's a little bit firm too, so you can get good detail out of it, and at the same time, you can easily change something you don't like something you feel you sculpted wrong, and you can totally resculpt it. Now, what's the difference between polymer clay and plastilina? Well, plastilina never dries, it never hardens. It's always malleable, and you can always change it around. Polymer clay, to an extent, you can leave it the way it is, malleable, and it'll never dry unless you bake it. Now, with that being said, just because a lot of people say, well, if plastilina never dries, that means that you don't get a finished product, and you can easily bend, break, or smush. In this case, smush your clay figure, and you wouldn't be wrong. However, I prefer plastilina. After using it, using polymer clay, I prefer plastilina, and I tell you, and I'll explain why. Yes, plastilina or modeling clay doesn't dry, and yes, you are correct. You are run the risk of smushing or it melting in hot weather. Your figure. However, there's a way to get around that. If you finish your sculpture, and if you coat it with primer, give me one moment. Let me get the primer real quick. All right, so if you coat it with primer, which is this is what I use. Now you can use spray primer, or you can brush it on. Just make sure you use a soft brush when you do that. Big one, if possible. If you coat it with primer, as much coat as you can. Here's the brush right here. So you can see that. I need to clean it. It's dirty. Now we're doing everything off the cuff here. You coat it with primer. You can add as much silver layers you want. Let it dry for at least 12 hours or full day to make sure it's hardened. You can then paint over it with your acrylic paints. And then when you paint with the acrylic paints and you finish, you're satisfied with what you have, spray it with Mod Podge. Now you can use this type of Mod Podge, is super high shine, or you can buy a regular one, which is matte finish. I'm alright with the high shine because, oh, my thumb's in the way. Sorry about that. Remember, folks, it's off the cuff here. I use the super high shine right now because, of course, they're fighting, and when you fight, you sweat, so it gives the effect of they're in a heated battle. You use that, and you add silver coats sometimes, and then afterwards when that's dry, I put on this matte, so you can see that matte water-based sealer glue finish. It looks like glue. So I apologize. And just gonna give my, feel that? Gives it a hard shell. What that does is going to protect it from the environment indoors. the heat, cold weather, and it'll never lose its shape. And even if it does, let's say if I accidentally bump into it or drop it, yeah, that'll suck. It'll be a lot of, well, it'll be work. When something breaks or gets mishandled, no matter what it is, you have to fix it. But it's less of a hassle, less of a nuisance to fix this. And what's funny about this is that even if it's hard and I still feel something that's not quite right, I can still move it around, fix it, like the hands. I can still. I like to, I had to struggle with hands, but with something like this, I can still bend it, move it a little bit more in shape, fix it. Because it's hard, but I can still, with a little bit of force, I can make it malleable. Unfortunately, with this, once you bake this, it's hard like a rock. I can't fix it. I'm gonna have to do the actual surgery, turn this off, and redo it again. And another thing, if you mess up on polymer clay when you cook it, like if it cracks on you, like cracks where you can that are like you can repair them or not easily repaired, or you bake something that you think is gonna come out one way but it comes out another way. There's no, at least for me, there's no coming back from that. You just ruined your piece, and you have to buy more polymer clay to fix it. Which, if you're not familiar with polymer clay, depending on the make and model, can get very, very expensive. Thankfully, unfortunately, that what happened to me, and I put off on working on this project for a while because of that. But thankfully, I had some Sculpey 3, which is polymer clay that's on the softer but malleable side. Usually, I see artists use that for like sculpting like cartoon characters, for example, or versions of comic book heroes that aren't as detailed like animated series Batman and such. I had that available. I mixed it together, and I went back to the drawing board and fixed the lower half of Bruce Lee's body. But on the other hand, with plastilina clay, I can work with it, and if something messes up, I don't feel bad taking it apart and doing it again, because the clay is always going to be there, and it's always going to be malleable and workable. And right now, I'm satisfied. I mean, I could probably make an adjustment here and there with Chuck Norris's stance, which I probably will in the future. But right now, I'm pretty satisfied with what I have. I'm pretty satisfied with what I have so far. All right, so that's pretty much it. Just a quick rundown, because I don't want to make this video too long. I'm gonna go a quick rundown, see what I have available here as far as materials I used. So for Bruce Lee, I used Super Sculpey right here, which is Super Sculpey firm. It stays soft till you bake it. It's firm. It's good for detailed work. Even making like figures from anywhere from 4 inches up to 10-12 inches. It's good for that. It's good for details. For action figures, comic book or realistic looking characters. Of course, armature wire. I like using aluminum is easier to bend, but this is to me it's more sturdier if you use steel wire. This is a 50 feet of steel wire. I don't know exactly what gauge it is, but you want to get something on the thicker side when you're making figures 8 inches and up to keep it sturdy. Of course, some have a little piece of you know what this is? This is aluminum foil Windows wrap. It looks like this because I'm actually using this piece to make details on the background there. Supposed to be brick, old brick. Still working on that. Because if you're all familiar with the movie Way of the Dragon, the movie, they're fighting in the Roman Colosseum, and just one of the scenes there in the background. So, speaking of the background, I am going to add it some more. I was going to stop there, just make it like the base, but I might as well go all out, see if I can add the this part and the other part. I gotta study the film a little bit more to find out where it curves, because I think when it curves right here, it's like an archway. So I gotta work on that. I also gotta work on the base. I'm not gonna leave this like this. I'm thinking about making the base out of foam, or buying foam about 1 to 2 inch piece, 1.5 to 2 inches thick, so I can cut into the foam and place the bases inside. And the foam, I do my best to blend it in with the base of each character, make it look like one uniform structure. And then I'm thinking that when I cut everything out, make it look more presentable, like a diorama, I'm gonna probably put on the top or the bottom the title Way of the Dragon on there. I don't know if I'll film that. I might film that. I'm thinking about actually filming my other sculpture in process. And try to film it to the best of my ability. And even though my camera work is amateurish, hope you get a good understanding of my on my sculpting process. Yeah, once again, I use amateur wire that we use for the armature, masking tape to hold the aluminum foil in place, and also to prevent it from pieces breaking off and getting to the clay, making a mess. Depending if you're using, of course, if you're using plastilina clay or any type of modeling clay, if you don't go that route and not go with polymer clay, I recommend, if you go to your local Walmart, buy this one, Sergeant Art Plastilina clay. It's good bang for your buck. 2 pounds. It's only like $5, but you can get a lot out of this. Buy that one. Get your sculpture done. Good details. Just real quick. Here's all the brushes. Let me get them real quick. All the brushes, all these sculpting tools that I use. A lot of the stuff I pick up along the way. Most of the stuff I have here, I pick up at the dollar store. You can find a lot of good things at the dollar store, like the sanding sponge to sand things down, smooth things out. Crafting knife. Of course, Mod Podge spray. You get either the high shine one or you get the matte one, depending on how you want your figure to look. You can get that at of course, your Walmart or craft store. If I'm in Walmart, craft store can be a little bit expensive. You can get these matte Mod Podges, little ones. You can buy a whole bunch of them at the dollar store. Once again, just for $1, and save some money. It's because you go into art or sculpting, you don't have to spend a fortune. Of course, there are certain materials that, you know, the more expensive ones work better than the cheaper ones. But hey, if you can save money, save money. Acrylic paints, just buy regular acrylic paints from Walmart, about 25-50 cents each. You don't have to buy nothing super expensive. You got your primer, mainly for painting your sculptures. You can do a polymer clay, but highly recommend it for plastilina or myelin clay to help you give you like a hard shell. And oh yeah, your brush. You use this to blend in details like smooth stuff, like dry brushing or adding blush or battle damage effect like bruises. Using pastels, I forgot about that. I use soft pastels to do that. That's what gives Bruce Lee his, if you can see that, his battle bruises around his eyes. Chuck Norris looks looking a little clean there. I'm gonna have to battle damage him, and yeah, I'll add that later. Still a work in progress, people. So don't mind me. All right. What else am I missing? What else? Yeah, that's. Well, actually, real quick, I remember. Now, getting back to if you decide to go with polymer clay instead of modeling clay to your sculptures, how can I put this? There are three types of main clays out there. Okay, you got your Super Sculptor Firm, which is this gray one. Make sure it says Super Sculptor Firm, which is like I mentioned, great for detailing work. Doesn't lose its shape easily, very malleable, and it sticks with its shape unless you really press on it hard. That's good if when going to detail work and use your hands a lot, and you don't wanna you handle your figure a lot while you're sculpting, and you don't want to mess it up. And I'm that type of person that I hold my sculptures in my hand while I'm sculpting, so one reason that's good for me. Another one we have is this, the cheapest one you can buy if you're starting off. You want to practice with Sculpey. This is Sculpey Original. I have a little piece right here. Sorry about the mess. It comes like that. It doesn't come in a box anymore. It comes like that. It's the original Sculpey. You can find this in the crafting section in Walmart for about $4.99, $5. It's the cheapest one. One thing I can tell you is this is really sticky. It's very soft. You can easily bend it out of shape. So if you like handling your clay in your hand, you gotta be very careful. You gotta have like a light touch. I recommend this clay two ways. If you're making cartoon character figures like Super Mario, Simpsons, anything that involves like big shapes, not a lot of details like cartoon characters, or I think even anime, you can probably get away with it too. This you can use this. You can use this type of clay. But if you want to go into more intricate detail characters, it's doable. But beware this. You gotta have very delicate with your hands when you work with this, and it's a bit of a more, at least for me, a chore to work with this, and plus you can bend it out of shape easily. But it's a good clay though for beginners starting off, or if you're making like cartoon characters, or you can use this clay to make eyeballs, or even a base. If you don't want to use well, I like using air dry clay. But yeah, you can make eyeballs. Like I buy like this is from the dollar store. Also, I buy like different types of wooden beads here, different sizes, and I cover them in polymer clay, and I cook them. And some of them have like it's not focusing. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. I'm getting a bad angle here. I'm sorry. It's all blurry. But you get the gist. You can make eyeballs of different sizes. They can use for your characters. Speaking of which, the eyes on each of these characters are made out of beads, wooden beads. So that'll save you a step on sculpting, doing the eyes. That's what I do. Okay, so oh yeah, and this is another clay called Sculpey Original. This one right here, it's the beige color. Now this is good also for fine detail. It's not as hard as Super Sculpey, but it's not as soft either. So it's like like a good it's like it's the best of both worlds. That's the word I'm looking for. So it's not as soft as original Sculpey. It is not as hard to work around as Super Sculpey. So if you have arthritis in your hands or issues with your hands, weak hands, due to medical problems, but also you want to have the fine details in there, you can use this type of clay. Just make sure when you work with rare polymer clay, no matter the brand, always make sure to work with it before, warm it up and knead it for at least a good 20-30 minutes before using it, to help you avoid cracks when you bake it. It's called Sculpey Original. Sculpey Original and Super Sculpey. No, Super Sculpey and Super Sculpey Firm. You can find them at your craft store. The only one you can buy at your local Walmart for $5 is the original. The cheapest one is this one right here, which is plain white. Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna do a quick scan of Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris. If you can see that. Let's see. That's Bruce. Angle from the side over here, facing off. Don't mind the stuff in the background. And now Chuck Norris. See here, looking straight at his rival. About to have two gladiators battle it out to the death. One of the, for me, one of the most iconic martial arts fight scene ever in the movie Way of the Dragon. Alright, so my next video, it's probably going to be show you the other type of sculptures I've made. Not a lot, just a little bit, but I'm going to show you what I made so far. And basically give you like a little explanation of each clay figure I made, and how it came about to sculpting it or making it. I have quite a few figures I want to make in my head, and after that I'm gonna try see if I can film my next sculpture. Hopefully everything goes well. Alright, with that being said, also, I know we mentioned earlier, but I want to give a thanks and a shout out to my channel's very new. I hardly have any subscribers or people watching this, but I have got a shout out to Dr. Guerrera, Clay Makes, Clay Claim, Jawa Jazza or Jazza, and every channel that I watched or I'm subscribed to that deal with art and sculpting. Um, they inspired me. Not expired. They inspired me to actually move forward and continue and try to get better and better and better with sculpting or even art in general. Um, so hopefully this won't be the last time you see me, and hopefully next time as I progress, I'll try to get better and bring you better content and make sure my sculptures look better than when they look as they looked like last time. All right, so this is Nacito's art, and I said this before, and I'll say it again. Um, and artwork is never finished unless you say it's finished. Continue drawing, continue building, continue being creative, and thank you for your time. This is Nacito's art. Peace. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye.